Here's what you need to do. There are 2 steps. Step 1, go to the product you want to sell as a pre-order in your Shopify admin, find the variant, open the settings, and look for the option that says continue selling when out of stock. Turn that one on. And that's what makes the purchase for a pre-order possible. With the setting enabled, customers can add the product to their cart and check out even when your inventory count is 0. And that's it. Step 2, create a product page template that's specific to pre-orders and add a clear message near the Add to Cart button so customers know exactly what they're buying. This is the part that actually matters most. It's also the piece most merchants miss. When someone buys a pre-order, they need to know it's not shipping tomorrow and roughly when it will. And if they don't, you will hear from them asking where the order is. Here's how to set it up. Go to your Shopify admin, click Online Store, then Themes. On your current theme, click Edit Theme. And in the top center of the editor, you'll see a dropdown. It probably says Homepage. Click that, then select Products, then Create Template. Give it a name you'll recognize, something like Preorder. Now you have a product page template that's separate from your regular one. Anything you change here won't affect your other product pages. Inside this template, look at the area near the Add to Cart button. You want to add a text block right next to it, somewhere a customer will see before they click buy. In most themes, you can do this by clicking Add Block in the product information section and selecting a text block or a custom content block. In that block, write something simple and direct, something like, this is a pre-order expected to ship in 3 to 4 weeks. If you have a more specific date, use it because the customer should never be confused about what they're purchasing. Keep it visible, don't bury it at the bottom of the product description where no one scrolls. And once you've saved the template, go back to your Shopify admin and open the product you want to sell as a pre-order. On the product editing page, look for the theme template section. It's usually on the right side near the bottom, and change the template from your default product template to the pre-order template you just created. Now that product has its own page with a clear pre-order message, and every other product in your store stays exactly the same. You'll notice the button itself still says Add to Cart. That's fine. As long as the message next to it is clear, customers will understand what they're buying. You can change the button text in your theme's language settings if you want to, but it's not required. If you want to go a step further, you can edit your order confirmation email to include a note about pre-order timelines. That way, the customer gets a reminder right after checkout. But even without that, if your product page is clear, I think you're in good shape. So let's be clear about what you now have. You have a product that customers can purchase before it's in stock. You have a page that tells them what to expect, and you did it with no app, no fee, and no code. For a single product, or if you're just getting started with pre-orders and want to see whether it works for your business, this is genuinely all you need. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If the immediate goal is to start selling, this gets you there. Now the native setup works, and it works well for a straightforward pre-order flow where customers pay full price upfront, which by the way is the recommended approach for most merchants starting out. But if pre-orders become a bigger part of how your store operates, if you're running them across multiple products or regularly at real volume, there are some things you'll eventually want that Shopify doesn't offer natively. Here's what I mean. Partial payments. Some merchants want to collect a deposit at checkout, say 30%, and charge the rest when the product ships. Shopify's native checkout doesn't support that, not out of the box at least. You need an app for it. Pre-order badges. If you have a mix of in-stock and pre-order products in your collections, there's no native way to show customers which product is pre-order before they click into a page. Fulfillment and order management. In Shopify admin, pre-orders will look like every other order. No tag, no separate view, and no information about the pre-order. If you have 10 pre-orders mixed in with 200 regular orders, you'll have to find them manually. Send shipping updates in bulk. When your shipping timeline changes, and it can, there's no native way to update every customer who pre-ordered. You'd have to essentially do that one by one. Multi-market support. If you're selling across multiple regions, availability and shipping timelines can look completely different by market. You can technically work around it natively, but the setup gets complex very fast. These aren't things every store needs, but for businesses that are heavily reliant on pre-orders, these things make a real difference in how much time you spend managing pre-orders versus actually running your store. So here's how I think about it. If you're selling 1 or 2 products as pre-orders, or you're testing whether pre-orders make sense for your store at all, Use the native method. It's free, it's simple, and it's enough. If you find yourself managing pre-orders across multiple products or spending more and more time on the manual parts, the emails, the tagging, the tracking, that's where an app starts to make sense. Not because the native method stopped working, but because your time as a store owner is just better spent elsewhere. There are several Shopify apps that handle this. Stock, STOQ, is one of them. It covers both pre-orders and back-in-stock alerts. But whatever you choose it because the manual work has outgrown what's practical and not because someone convinced you that you need an app before you actually do. If you ever reach a point where you want to see what the app-based setup looks like, we have a full walkthrough for that in the channel that covers it step by step, and a link for it is in the description. But for now, I hope you have everything you need to start selling pre-orders on Shopify.